Scream for me, YouTube! It's Sunday and time for a new episode of Record Collecting with a Quill. The theme for today, Iron Maiden. It's been sort of an Iron Maiden week on the Quill social media this week. We released a new single Friday, Where Eagles Dare, so we've been running sort of a Iron Maiden themed week. So it's a fitting way to end the week with a Iron Maiden episode of Record Collecting. But before we start, you know the drill. Make sure you subscribe and hit that little notice bell, and also share with your friends. Well, if you've been watching this channel, and I guess you have, if you're into what is it, like 44 episodes, you know I'm a big Kiss fan, but I'm also, Iron Maiden is one of those bands that's been with me since I was a kid. A great band, always make great records, great live show, and they're also really fun to collect. There's tons of cool stuff. Apart from the albums, they release quite a few different 7-inches with lots of cool non-album tracks, and 12 inches as well. So there's tons of cool stuff to search for. So I thought I'd share a little of the stuff I have. No way have a complete Iron Maiden collection, but nonetheless some cool stuff. Iron Maiden is a band I enjoy immensely, as I said, from the work ethics and just being consistent over such a long period of time. And I had the opportunity to work a little closer with them when I joined Spiritual Beggars, because we were also managed by the same company as Iron Maiden, called Sanctuary in London. So we actually got to go to the Sanctuary office a couple of times, and actually got to meet some of the members, and Rod Smallwood, their manager, and down-to-earth guys, as I said, with strong work ethics, and in general super cool guys. So it's one of those bands that I enjoy immensely from quite a few different perspectives. Anyway, I'm rambling again. Let's start with what we're here for. Some cool Iron Maiden records. As I said, I will not get into the albums, because we know those, don't we? They're mandatory if you're into hard rock music to have all the Iron Maiden albums. But I thought I'd share some of my favorite 12 inches and 7 inches and talk a little bit about them and why they're special to me. So I'm starting out with the first one, actually, that I really got into. The one that got me into Iron Maiden. It's the Maiden Japan 12-inch, recorded in Japan in 1981, I believe. This one I didn't have this one, but a friend of mine had, and I used to borrow it from him quite a lot, because we listened to it at his place, and as I said, this was the one that really got me into Iron Maiden, and I quite enjoy this one. I'm a big fan of the Paul Di'Anno albums. I think he was a great singer for those albums. He was perfect, and then he took it as far as it would go, and I think the change to Bruce Dickinson was a good choice. But those first two albums I enjoy immensely. As I said, this was the first one I got into, so I really got into Iron Maiden with Paul Di'Anno at first. But this is a cool one, a high energy. It's released here. I have the 4-track version. I believe it's available with a 5th track. There's a Japanese release called Live Plus One. I think it's mainly the same tracks, or no, it isn't. But it is available as a 5-track as well, and you can find, I think it's with a different cover in Venezuela with Eddie beheading someone. But this is a really cool release, and something you must have if you're into Iron Maiden. Absolutely. So that was the first one, but that wasn't the first one I bought. The first one I bought was actually this one, The Woman in Uniform. I don't know why, actually, because I was really into Maiden in Japan, but I actually think I ordered this one for some reason. And this is kind of a rare occurrence where it's a single where it's not an Iron Maiden track. Woman in Uniform is a cover track, which is sort of, I don't know, it's not the Iron Maiden's greatest moment, but the thing that really got me, the track that was the #1 track for me on this is the live recording on Phantom of the Opera. I don't know how many times I've listened to that one, but it's one of my absolute favorite Iron Maiden tracks, the Phantom of the Opera tracks. I think it has everything that makes Iron Maiden great. Great guitars, great vocals, all the changes in the song as well. So this is a cool 12-inch. I think this is getting somewhat rare now. Was released with another cover as well, but this one, I don't know what pressing this is. I believe it's a German one. Yes, it is. It's a German pressing. Next one, if we're staying with the 12 inches, this is a mandatory you have to have as well. The Sanctuary 12-inch. With Prowler you have Drifter, and you got a live version of I've Got the Fire, the Montrose cover track. Also one of my absolute favorite Maiden songs, the Sanctuary track, and it's an absolute classic in the Iron Maiden songbook. And as I said, these 12 inches are really cool, since they're always rare tracks or live tracks on the B-sides. Then, as I said, I got into the Iron Maiden and Paul Di'Anno years, but the first sort of album I really picked up on when it was released was the Power Slave album. And I remember getting this single, the 2 Minutes to Midnight single, a fantastic riff from Adrian Smith, great track, and also the artwork is really cool as well. And you have the guys standing there as well. And what I like with Iron Maiden as well, you always had like the tour dates, so you can sit and like, oh, wonder what it is like to go see them. I was a little bit too young to go see them in 1984, but I got to see them later on. I really like this one. I really like the B-side as well, and the track Rainbow's Gold. It's by a British band. I actually have the original version. It's a cover version of this band called Beckett from Newcastle. I believe this album is from 1970, and one of Steve Harris' favorite bands, he said in interviews. And I think actually Rod Smallwood, Iron Maiden's manager, used to manage these guys, and then they actually sued Iron Maiden later on for borrowing some stuff. But cool release, really cool artwork by Derek Riggs as well. And from the same album, I also got this one, the Aces High, the opening track from Power Slave. Also great cover tune, King of Twilight, recorded originally by Nectar. Also great cover as well. You could just see, I mean, if you're 10 years old, how can you not like this? Just looking at all the details, really important, I think, in the Iron Maiden scheme of things. Then I got really into them, so I went back and bought older stuff. So yeah, of course, this one, the Run to the Hills single, and what I really like, and also have the Number of the Beast single as well. And here you have, on this one, you have a cool B-side and live recording of Remember Tomorrow with Bruce Dickinson, and here you have a Total Eclipse, a great track that should have made the Number of the Beast album, and it did later on when they re-released it. And what I really like about these two, and if you put them together with a Number of the Beast cover, they sort of complement each other, and that's also another cool thing with them, that they always had artwork that went in line with the album the singers were promoting. So it's sort of a continuation that was really cool. And you always were wondering, whenever it was a new album coming out with Iron Maiden, you always wondered what will Eddie look like this time. So two cool singers as well. Another one from the Peace of Mind album, the Flight of Icarus. And here you have a studio recording of I Got the Fire, the Montrose track from the Paper Money. And I think I got it here as well. You got a recording here as well of I Got the Fire. That's a live version with Paul Diano, but here you got a studio version with Bruce Dickinson recorded during the Peace of Mind sessions. Also a favorite track of mine, Flight of Icarus. Cool one. This one I took out just because it's a little bit different. This is the Running Free single from the Live After Death live album, and it also has a B-side, Sanctuary, that isn't on the original album. I think it's on the re-release or the CD version. It's sort of an anomaly since it's not Eddie on the cover, it's a live picture. I guess they were in a hurry. That's probably the only reason I can think of, since they didn't use Eddie. They use Eddie on all the other covers. But it's a cool one to have. Sanctuary as well, great live version. Next one is one I played to death when it got out. This one, Can I Play With Madness, the Seventh Son of a Seventh Son album. Actually, in school when we had arts class, I drew this cover and I got an A for it as well. Don't think my teacher knew where the artwork came from. And I still have it around somewhere, don't know where though, but this is a cool B-side as well. You have got the Black Bart Blues. I think it's really, that's one of the things I really enjoy with Iron Maiden. They don't take themselves too serious all the time, so sort of a little tongue-in-cheek, but still a great track actually, and some fun stuff from Nico McBrain at the end. And the last one, I took the one because that's Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter. This is from the No Prayer for the Dying album. Actually, the first time I got to see them in '91, I believe. I missed out on them. This is also cool B-side. They're playing I'm a Mover by Free from the first Free album. This one, Ton of Sobs. Maybe not the best cover version, but still fun to hear. And Bring Your Daughter to Your Slaughter was originally recorded by Bruce Dickinson on his own for the Terror on Elm Street soundtrack, but they re-recorded it for Iron Maiden. And this is cool. I don't know if I will be able to show this. I don't think you will see, but it's actually etched. There you can see. It's autographs and a small message from each member. It's really cool as well. Another one of those cool artworks as well. And last one, I think I actually rambled about this one when I did the B-sides, but I have to do it again because I think it's so good. It's the Wasted Years 12-inch. I think I showed you the 7-inch when I did the B-sides, but here's the 12-inch. And you have the track Reach Out. It's sort of unique in the Iron Maiden history since it's sung by Adrian Smith. Was song they played when they took some time off. I had to read up on it. They took half a year off, Iron Maiden, and Nico McBrain and Adrian Smith started sort of a cover band and wrote some tunes, and it was written by one of the guitarists in that band. And then they needed B-sides for the Somewhere in Time singles, and they recorded this track, which I think is really, really great. And another one of those tongue-in-cheek tracks, Sheriff of Huddersfield. It's sort of a tribute to their manager Rod Smallwood. Certainly a cool character and a really nice guy. The times I've met him, super cool, but he's known to be kind of cheap, and that's what the song really talks about. Him moving to LA being cheap is not a good fit. And I can testify to him being cheap. I remember when we had lunch at the Sanctuary lunchroom. We were sitting around in Spiritual Vegas, and Rod came and as a really big character, he took the whole room when he came in, and he started eating JB, the singer in Spiritual Vegas, his dumplings. So he ate all of JB's dumplings. I think he only got a few for himself, and Rod ate the rest of it. But cool guy. It's one of those guys you don't say no to, so it's a fun story. actually. So that was my Iron Maiden picks. As I said, we have a new single out with the QUILL, a cover version of Where Eagles Dare from Peace of Mind. It's out now on all major platforms, so have a listen to it. It will be released in late January on Live New Borrowed Blue, our new collection of rare tracks. So check it out if you haven't. It's a pretty good version, I would say, myself. And also make sure you follow us on social media. It's the QUILL Sweden, for more news. And also let me know if there's what are your favorite Iron Maiden tracks, or do you have a cool story or favorite album? Let me know in the comment section. And as usual, I will put the tracks that are available on YouTube or on Spotify. I will put in the Spotify playlist. You'll find a link below. There's some, as I said, some really cool B-sides. That's it for now. Cheers, and see you all again next week. Bye.